Hey guys, it's Jen from Noting Grace, and today I'm going to be answering the question, should you strip that family heirloom piece of furniture using oven cleaner? Let me show you. Okay, so the oven cleaner fad has been around for quite some time, and I've seen lots of successes, but I've also seen lots of fails. So I was interested to give this a try, but I was a little skittish because a lot of our pieces have been passed down from family members and they really mean a lot to us. So if you have that treasured piece of furniture that needs updating, but you're not sure if this is going to work, I gave it a try. And stay tuned until the end so you can see how our project turned out. I've had this vintage hall tree in my home for quite a few years. I love it because of the backstory, but the orangey finish, not so much. It was in Trent's home when he was growing up, and he often shares the memory of sitting in the hall tree pretending to be Conan the Barbarian. It always makes me smile whenever I hear that story. The idea of sanding all of the carved wood at the top of the piece, it always made me hesitate when thinking about refinishing this piece. That is, until I saw the oven cleaner method. I thought, any technique is worth trying. Before we get started on showing you the project, a couple of things to remember. This process requires the use of rinsing the oven cleaner away, so it's important to make sure that you move that piece of furniture outside. And then secondly, since you're working with chemicals and water, always make sure to wear some sort of eye protection in the process. When you start to spray the oven cleaner, you want the oven cleaner to saturate the entire piece of furniture. So spray one coat of oven cleaner onto the wood liberally. Let me tell you, that first time that you spray the oven cleaner on the piece of furniture, it is going to feel anything but normal. But trust the process. For this piece, I ended up using 2 cans of the Easy Off oven cleaner. I started by working in small areas. You allow the cleaner to sit on the wood stain for about 15 to 30 minutes, and then you're ready to scrub. I filled a bucket with warm water and used a large scrub brush to work in the cleaner. You will immediately begin to see the old stain start to lift off of the wood. I noticed right away that my bucket of water started to turn brown. So after dipping my scrub brush in a few times, I ended up swapping out the water 3 or 4 times throughout the process. If your piece has ornate detailing like our hall tree, you may need to get a smaller brush. I used an old toothbrush to get into all those nooks and crannies. Once you have scrubbed everything, you are ready to grab your water hose and rinse. Again, this feels like some dystopian world turned upside down when you are bringing that hose to rinse off a family heirloom. But I went with it and made sure to rinse thoroughly until the water ran clear. Once you rinse the piece down, you want to set it in the sun and allow it to thoroughly dry. After about 10 minutes of drying, I started to see that raw wood finish peek through, and it was amazing. While that was drying, I moved indoors to try to polish the hardware that came with the tree. The hat hook and decorative pieces were completely tarnished, so I took some Barkeeper's Friend and gave them a polish with a soft toothbrush. You can immediately start to see that brass shining through. The right side is after 1 scrub and the left side is after 2. Then I went back outside to check on the hall tree. I was so blown away. Here's how it looks after it was totally dry, which was about 35 minutes for the excess water to completely evaporate. Now, one thing I noticed is that the wood grain was slightly raised. It makes sense since you're using so much water, The last step in the process is following up with a light sanding. Now, I know what you're thinking, because I thought it too. Why go to all this trouble if you're going to have to end up sanding it anyway? Well, this is not like sanding a finished piece with layers and layers of stain and coats of polyurethane. I was able to use a simple scuff pad, and I had the entire piece sanded in just about 20 minutes. For that carved top area, I used a fun little flexible sanding block made by the company Gator. I'll make sure to link that below for you. Now it was time to move the piece inside. Complete gorgeousness in just one morning. This quick project didn't take a lot of time at all. Just a few quick hours, including scrubbing the hardware. Admittedly, I didn't think that this would work. Oven cleaner as furniture stripper was not an option that I had ever thought of. But this easy DIY project brought out the natural wood in way less time than it would have taken me to sand the piece down. And if you have a carved wood detailed piece like ours, I highly recommend this method because it does save a lot of time in sanding. So this was my first attempt using oven cleaner to strip furniture, and I'm sold. I will be using this again and again on other pieces in our home. So I hope this helped you out. Hope this answered your questions. If you have any specific questions, be sure to leave me a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next video.